Hola amigos, feliz viernes. Hoy es viernes, yo soy Rory y estoy contento de estar aquí contigo. Hoy, nuestro tema es la hemoglobina A1C. I recently had my annual physical and did the whole blood panel test and everything. We were talking about A1C y todo eso, and I thought, you know what, this is a perfect topic for video viernes. So, let's get started with some vocabulario. Primero, diagnosticar, to diagnose, our verb. El azúcar, or azúcar sanguíneo. So, we're talking about blood sugar, right? El azúcar, most people, if you just say el azúcar, it's totally fine, but if you needed to specify el azúcar sanguíneo, blood sugar. El plan de tratamiento, so treatment plan. Por ciento, so percent. El porcentaje, percentage. El promedio, average. El rango, the range. La diabetes tipo 1, so type 1 diabetes. La diabetes tipo 2. La glucosa, so glucose. La meta, the goal. La prediabetes, so pre-diabetes. La prueba, a test. La sangre, blood. Los cambios de estilo de vida, so changes in lifestyle. And los medicamentos, so medications. Okay, this is vocabulario específico de A1C, but we're also going to talk a little bit about some diet and physical activities. Let's take a look at diet vocab. So, vocabulario de la alimentación. La dieta alta en or baja en, so a diet that is high in or low in. Azúcar, sugar. Carbohidratos, carbohydrates. Proteína, protein. Los carbohidratos, for example, los dulces, sweets. Los pasteles, pasteles like cakes and pastry items. El pan blanco, so white bread. El arroz, rice. La pasta, pasta. Las nueces, nuts or seeds. Los vegetales, vegetables. El queso, cheese. El pollo, chicken. Los huevos, eggs. Los frijoles, beans. Y las lentejas, lentils. Okay? All right, so vocabulario de alimentación, we're going to put some of this to use during the lesson. Okay? Let's move on to vocabulario de actividad física. Vocabulario de actividad física in alphabetical order. So the verb bailar, to dance. Caminar, to walk. 5 días a la semana, 5 days a week. Correr, to run. Jugar a un deporte, so play a sport. Jugar con los niños, play with the kids. La frecuencia cardíaca de esfuerzo. So if you talk about like a target heart rate, that's the best equivalent to this. La frecuencia cardíaca de esfuerzo literally means like your straining heart rate, but the idea is your target heart rate for physical activity. La frecuencia cardíaca máxima, so your max heart rate. Latidos por minuto, beats per minute. Limpiar la casa, clean the house. Trabajar en el jardín, so to work in the garden or the yard. 30 minutos, 30 minutes. Trotar, to jog. Okay? All right, so we've got some verbs and some other vocabulario mixed in here, all relating to actividad física. Let's answer the question, ¿qué es el A1C? What is the A1C? El A1C es un promedio, an average, de glucosa en la sangre, of your blood glucose levels, de los últimos 2 a 3 meses. So it's an average of your blood sugar, blood glucose levels for the last 2 to 3 months. No es una medición de glucosa en el momento. It's not a measurement, una medición. No es una medición de glucosa en el momento. So it's not a glucose measurement at the moment, okay? Es diferente al número del glucómetro. So it's different from the glucometer's number. Cuando usted se hace la prueba con el glucómetro, when you do a blood sugar test with your glucometer, es una medición actual. So medición, measurement. Actual is kind of like a false cognate in Spanish. It means current. It doesn't mean like real. Okay? So es una medición actual. So it's a current measurement in the moment, right? No le da un promedio. It doesn't give you an average. Le da el nivel de glucosa en el momento. So it gives you your glucose levels or blood sugar levels in the moment. Okay? All right, bien. Well, ¿por qué es importante el A1C? ¿Por qué es importante? El A1C es importante para diagnosticar. So it's important to diagnose la prediabetes, so prediabetes, la diabetes tipo 1, so diabetes type 1, la diabetes tipo 2, so type 2 diabetes. Y el A1C es importante para evaluar el plan de tratamiento. It's also important to evaluate the treatment plan. O usted no sigue el plan de tratamiento, so either you're not following the treatment plan, like la dieta y el estilo de vida, o necesitamos cambiar la dosis de los medicamentos, or we need to change your medications or your medication dosing. So either you're not following the treatment plan, o usted no sigue el plan de tratamiento, o necesitamos cambiar la dosis de los medicamentos, or we need to change your meds, okay, or dosing. ¿Cuál es el rango normal del A1C? No diabético es menor de 5.7%. So no diabético, not diabetic, is less than 5.7%. Prediabético es 5.7 o a 6.4%. So from 5.7 to 6.4%. Diabético es 6.5% o más, medido en dos citas diferentes, so measured in two different appointments. Azúcar no controlado, so like your blood sugar that's totally out of control, es 8% o más, so 8% or more. El control de la diabetes, so what's our range for managing diabetes? So el control de la diabetes, control is our word for managing, okay? La meta para buen control de la diabetes es 7% o menos. So the goal for managing diabetes is 7% or less. Okay, ¿cuáles factores pueden afectar los resultados? So what factors could affect the results or maybe give us some false results with our A1C? Bueno, el sangrado crónico, so chronic bleeding, puede resultar en un falso resultado bajo. Could result in a false low reading. Okay? Bien. La anemia puede resultar en un falso resultado alto. So anemia could result in a false high reading. La hemoglobina poco común or hemoglobina variante puede resultar en resultados altos o bajos. So hemoglobina poco común or hemoglobina variante could either result in high or low readings. Recientes transfusiones de sangre pueden resultar en falsos resultados bajos. So recent blood transfusions could result in some false low A1C readings. Okay, let's imagine that we've got a legit reading and it's high, higher than it should be. So let's talk about cambios en la alimentación para bajar el A1C. So some changes in diet to lower the A1C. We'll start with some simple instructions that we can then tag on specifics afterward. Okay? So es importante, it's important. Es buena idea, it's a good idea. Usted necesita, you need to. Usted debe, you should. Usted tiene que, very direct, you have to. Hay que, pretty indirect, just kind of like one has to. Hay que, okay? Now let's look at some possible sentence finishers here, some suggestions. Comer más verduras o vegetales con cada comida. So eat more vegetables with each meal. Okay? So you could take any of these and attach that on the end. Es buena idea comer más verduras con cada comida. Comer comidas altas en proteínas, so eat high protein foods. Por ejemplo, carnes magras, so lean meats, huevos, eggs, frijoles, beans, nueces, nuts. Comer menos granos, eat fewer grains, like panes, breads, pasteles, pastries, arroz blanco, white rice, maíz, corn, y dulces, sweets. Tomar agua en vez de bebidas azucaradas. So drink water instead of sugary drinks como jugos, juices, aguas de sabores. So a tricky thing about Spanish is that you can have an agua de melón or agua de sandía or agua de fresa, and it's called agua, but it's also got fruit and a bunch of sugar in it. So aguas de sabores, refrescos, and gaseosas, two common words for sodas, okay? All right, bien. Cambios en la actividad física para bajar el A1C. So changes in physical activity to lower A1C. Again, we've got our same lead-ins. Es importante, es buena idea, usted necesita, usted debe, you should, usted tiene que, you have to, or hay que, one has to. Hacer algún tipo de actividad física por un mínimo de 30 minutos por día. So do some kind of physical activity for a minimum of 30 minutes a day. Puede ser, it could be, caminar, walking, correr, running. Trotar is our verb for jogging. Jugar a un deporte, playing a sport. Jugar de manera activa con los niños, so playing actively with kids. Bailar, dancing. Trabajar en el jardín, working in the garden. O limpiar la casa, or cleaning the house. Okay, so that's our topic, A1C. Now let's get some practice in. Para conversar with your conversation partner, su paciente tiene un A1C de 5.9. So your patient has a 5.9 A1C. Hable con él sobre su dieta. Talk with him about his diet y sus hábitos de actividad física and his physical activity habits. Second scenario. Su paciente tiene un A1C de 7.5. So you've got an A1, your second patient has a 7.5 A1C en sus últimas dos visitas, in their last two visits. Hable con ella sobre opciones de medicamentos. So talk with her about med options en adición a cambios de estilo de vida, in addition to changes to lifestyle. Okay, if you need a conversation partner, head over to the Learning Medical Spanish Facebook group. Put yourself out there. Hey, I want to practice A1C, diabetes conversations. Who can be my partner? And if you've got some preguntas, make sure you post them below en el área de comentarios so that we can respond to them for you. Thanks for joining us today. If you learned something new, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it. That's how we're able to keep doing this moving forward, okay? Gracias por aprender español conmigo. Juntos mejoramos comunidades. Together, we truly are improving communities. Para más español, head over to the website, commongroundinternational.com. And if you would like to take some free medical terminology tests, head over to certifiedspanish.com and you can create a free account and take as many free medical Spanish terminology tests as you would like. Okay, amigos, hasta la próxima semana. Ciao.